Are you struggling to find good stuff to sell on eBay? Maybe the stuff you bought just isn't moving? Well, I'm going to show you because I've told people in the past, but I haven't really shown people. I'm going to show you how I find good stuff to sell on eBay on the other side. So without any further ado, let's go.
The following program contains disturbing materials that may not be suitable for some resellers. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is John with Flippin' Ain't Easy. Sourcing, it is the key to success, and it can be the key to why you're not being successful on the platform. And it's that simple. And I think the toughest pill for people to swallow is the fact that they just got through shelling out all this money to buy these items, and they find that they're listed, everything they've done on their side is great, their listings look good, but their items don't sell. And it's because step one is buying stuff that people want. I think Carrie on Trash to Cash actually said that in response to something that I said, which had nothing to do with it, but it is the truest statement that a reseller can make. You buy good stuff that people want and you will sell that item. It's that simple. And I want to just show you, because in the past I've told people on, basically what my process is. And it's one thing to tell people, it's another thing entirely to show people, the process. And, how you implement the process is up to you. But this is generally what I do. So I'm not trying to say that this is the end all be all. If you don't follow this process, you're not going to make money. What I'm saying is John makes good money selling on eBay. He usually does very well at yard sales, and it's not in any way, shape, or form by accident or coincidence that I'm just picking up random things and selling them. I'm actually doing my homework in 75% of the cases. The other 25% of the time, I know that this is not anything I have to look up because of past experience. And that number will grow as time goes on, because I sell everything, almost everything. That's such a large, set of items that I have to learn. And if you're within a niche, it's going to take a lot less time to where you don't have to utilize this process. But it's up to you on what you want to do. This is just what I do. Flippin' ain't easy. And when I go to a yard sale, the first thing you want is have your phone with you. So I want to show you kind of how I do it, both on the PC and on the app, because I realize that the PC and the app are laid out a little bit differently, but the concepts are the same. And generally, I don't get too far off of this process that I'm about to show you. I will add some things to it, which would be for another video where we dive into product research, formerly known as Terapeak, which is now available on your phone and available on your Seller Hub on your PC or Mac. But for me, it's as simple as looking at the 90-day sold comps. Now, I've told you guys that before, but I think sometimes, and I'm a visual learner, I think sometimes we have to see it for ourselves in order for the light bulb to go off, and to utilize that as maybe a process that we use, rather than what did John say, and I don't know, I'm not sure how he wanted me to do it, so I'm just going to keep doing it the way that I normally do it. So the idea is for you to see if this fits. Maybe this advice doesn't fit for you, but it is a process that I utilize in most cases. And as I said, sometimes I'll dive deeper, but I just want to cover the basics. Now, I want to look at an example. Now, as you can see here, I have what is called a Bird Expeller Pro. Now, this is just a simple stock photo. By the way, I did not buy this item, and I'll probably tell you why here in a second. But I've had these before, and while you may have never heard of this thing before, it's one of those things that will make different bird noises to get rid of birds, like if you have a pigeon problem or something like that. I don't know what this is. I'm at a yard sale, I'm looking at it, and let's say I'm looking at it online. So I'll simply go in and go Bird X Woodpecker. I think that's a keyword Pro. And then we could have done Bird Expeller. We could probably do that. But here it is, Bird Expeller Woodpecker Pro. Now, once you pull up the search, you're going to see that these are the unsold comps. And honestly, I don't care what people want to get for their items. This really means nothing to me. How many people am I up against? So I am up against 8 people using that set of keywords. But if I go Bird Expeller, which I probably should have done in the beginning, Bird Expeller Pro, I have 83. So that's probably the better that's probably the better set of words. And not every one of these is going to be, you can see, it's a different one altogether, so it's not the same. So it's probably somewhere around the 70 range, maybe 60 to 70 range that have this. Because as you get down in the results, it may not be the pro version, or it might be something similar. Okay, so I know that I'm up the maximum 83 other people trying to sell this gadget. Now, what I want to do is I want to go and see what the item is actually sold for in the last 90 days. So I go down the left side here and click on sold items. And there you go. We have 68 of these that have sold within the last 90 days. Now, there's really no way to know. It says that there's 83 others that are selling this same or similar item. And you never really know. That number is not always going to be or stay constant. It could be, in a week from now, it could show 50, it could show 100. But it gives you a general idea of the level of competition or how many listings. And it's, to me, almost at a 1-to-1. It's very close, 68 as compared to 83. And remember, I was thinking there's probably closer to 60 to 70 of these things. But again, we do have some solds where it isn't the same device, a similar device than what we're selling. But most of them are the same device, which is quite encouraging. So now it depends on the price. What is this item being sold for? Now, if your person at the yard sale wants you to pay $20 for this, I don't know. That's kind of not within my range. I would say I would probably put $15 as my max on that, just for me. Somebody might go 20, 25 and think, hey, I can make $89.99 as it shows here. But remember, this here is free shipping. And this is not a small little box. So you're probably going to pay every bit of $15 to $20 to ship it. And then you're going to have eBay fees. You're going to need to promote because you're up against a lot of competition. So at the end of the day, you're probably only going to double or maybe triple your money on that $20+ buy. So for me, it's a pass. For others, it's all day long. So you have to decide what kind of margins you want. But let me just put it this way. The more room you give yourself, so if I'm buying it at $10 and you're buying it at $25, the more I have, I can utilize markdown sales, I can utilize coupons, I can utilize best offer, I can utilize a higher promoted listing rate than you can, because I can actually spend more money in getting that item sold or offer discounts more than you can in getting that item sold. So that is one example. Okay. Now the other example, I went to the yard sale last weekend and I bought a pair of golf shoes. Actually, I bought a couple pairs of golf shoes. When I looked at it, I knew I had something special. It is this pair of golf shoes. By the way, that's not a stock photo. That's my photo. I was pretty proud of that. But as you can see, I spent $5 for it. Okay, I spent $5 for this pair of size 10 Nike Tiger Woods TW13 Master Limited Edition golf shoes that are about 12 years old. Okay, but it's right about Masters time. Like a week after Masters time, as we are watching this video, and there's still a lot of flavor in the air for the Masters. It was a great tournament this year. But, of course, Tiger Woods wasn't involved in it. It would have probably been a lot better if he was. But this right here, I saw that the sold comps were every bit of $200. Now, these have some use on them. Some of these other photos, they do show some wear. As you can see, have some wear in the shoe, a little scuffing and discoloration where the laces are in the top, I couldn't try to fetch $200. So I set it at a good price. But before I got that far, I had to look it up. Now, I used my phone for this. And the way I did it was I went into my app and typed in Nike, because I didn't have the name for these shoes. But on the inside of the tongue of the shoe, you can see that it's 532-622-101. And I searched it. And it came, wow, there's a lot of people wanting some pretty good money. One wants 415. They're holding out. Another one wants 175. These were listings that were there when I looked this up. But again, that's my competition. That's what they want for the shoe. Now, if I go to filter and I go down to sold items, wow, you're going to see mine that's sold. And I don't see a lot of solds here. Now, this is where, to me, I don't see any solds for this. Now, this is where, for me, you got to make a decision. If you don't have another way of looking this up, you can either say, wow, there's got to be some value. These guys want over $100. There's got to be some value. Maybe I can undercut them. Or you can then take this here, like I'm doing, copy it, okay? Go to selling, go to jump to research, and then plug that in, paste that right there, and it'll tell me what's sold. This is actually sold in the last 3 years. Now, it's telling me that a pair sold for 105 back 2 years ago. One sold 3 years ago for 239. These are a lot of older comps, but you can see a pattern that some of these, depending on condition, can really sell. And of course, you see mine. I don't know why it's showing 137.69, but this is the next level. If you cannot find it in the 90-day comps, you want to use your product research, and that's going to help you figure out if it's worth buying or not. Now, there's a lot more information. I could have gone to trend details and to see what the average sold price is. So if you go and look at the average sold price, it's going to tell you like time of year, April 23, April 24, and April 25. The price of the shoes have remained pretty good over that period of time, well over $100. So for $5, it was certainly worth the investment. So those are just a couple items that I've bought. Well, the shoes I bought. The other Bird Expeller Pro I did not buy because the price point was too high. But hopefully this will give you an idea of what I like to do to really figure out if something is worth buying or not. It's not enough for you to go and pick up something and say, wow, a pair of golf shoes. It doesn't matter the brand. It's golf season, and I'm going to pay $5 or $10 for it and expect to make money, because there's other Nike shoes that look just like this that maybe will only fetch you $20 or $30, and then you have to decide, is turning $5 into $20 or $30, and I'm saying that plus shipping, is the juice worth the squeeze? Is there enough meat on the bone for you to make that worth your while? Too many people are buying things that look cute. Too many people are buying things that, wow, I think this looks good. I think this is going to be something that can sell well on eBay. And it very well might sell well on eBay, but you don't know without looking at your resources how many other people are on that listing. How many other people are still waiting to sell their item, and all you're going to do is introduce that same item to a sea of listings where there's really not a lot of demand, no matter what you think of that item. And so instead of guessing, let historical data give you an idea on if it's worth the risk or not, because that's what this is. It's all an educated guess. You can have all the data in the world and still have an item that doesn't sell for weeks or months on end. It's just the way things shake out. Of course, a lot of it has to do with competition, and a lot of it has to do with demand. But the better you can mitigate that risk by seeing how many people you're up against in competition, let me put it this way: it would have been harder for me. I would have still bought the shoes at $5, but my expectations would have been much more tempered if there are 20 other sellers on that pair of shoes. I mean, that was just the model. I had size 10. I don't know if those others had size 10. So I might have had the only pair of these shoes in size 10. So the demand may not have been great, but I didn't have a lot of competition. And being that these shoes haven't sold in 90 days, I mean, I didn't really think there was a lot of demand. Now, if they wanted 20 or 30, I probably would have passed, to be honest with you. Because putting that kind of money, 20 or 30 bucks, into a pair of shoes that have no activity in the last 90 days doesn't fit my model. Now, it might fit your model, and in this case, it would have worked out just fine. But I have no way of knowing that it's going to work out just fine. And there's been many buys like this where I don't have all the data, and I do it anyway because the price point is low, and it does take a while for that item to sell. And I think the lower you can get the item for, the more risk you can take on something that just doesn't have the data. Maybe it's an item you can't find anywhere in the sold comps. Maybe there's nobody else selling that. Maybe you'll be the only one selling it, and there's someone out there looking for that very item. And you're never going to know until you try, but you want to, in those kind of buys, to keep your risk low. And only if, now on the other side of that coin, if you have an item like you come across an iPhone, someone wants a couple $100, it's new sealed, it's like 2 years removed from being the newest one, and sold comps show that these are going for like $500. Well, 200 into 500 isn't bad, but if you know you can flip it in a couple days, then it's well worth the purchase, I think. Because of the velocity and how fast that those sell, you'll recoup your money very, very fast. So sell time, how fast it takes to sell that item, should also be in the equation. But you're never going to know this unless you're looking at the data. Look to see how many people are on that item, and look to see how many items have sold in the last 90 days. Now, again, I'll dive into Terapeak on another video. I kind of showed it to you on the phone here as a second level of what I did when I wasn't able to find the shoe with the 90 days sold comps. But it's just another example that taking the time to look up the information and using all your tools will help you make a more informed decision. And one last thing, if you kind of don't feel comfortable pulling out your phone at the yard sale, there's nothing wrong at all with taking a real quick photo of the item. Get in your car, check out the comps, maybe try to figure out, what model it is or what you're looking at, and you can utilize like a Google Lens to do that, to get you started on what the hell even am I looking at. And then once you have the name of it, then you can copy and paste that into an eBay search to help you figure out and make an informed decision. But utilizing these tools and figuring out what works best for you when you're sourcing to maybe separate yourself from the competition, well, that's yet another example of how flipping ain't easy. I want you to have an excellent rest of your day, and we will talk to you very soon. Take care.
Oh! Chargebacks, returns, and lowball offers too. Vero takedowns, they're a pain, what can we do? High selling fees, bad buys, and rude buyers galore. Flipping ain't easy, but we keep coming back for more. All resellers are gonna make mistakes. Learn from them, and you'll have what it takes. In the world of reselling, we're your guide. But flipping ain't easy. By your side. Sourcing great items is the key to the channel and stand above the rest. Focus on the thing that's within your control. Hang with flipping ain't easy. Let's roll. Catch the live streams on Mondays and Fridays. Join the Discord community for the parlays. Tune into the podcast Profit Playbooks. The name with Scott and Josh. Flipping's more than a game. Chargebacks, returns, and lowball offers too. A Firo takedowns, they're a pain, what can we do? High selling fees, bad buys, and rude buyers galore. Flipping ain't easy, but we keep coming back for more. Oh, all resellers are gonna make mistakes. Learn from them, and you'll have what it takes. In the world of reselling, we're your guide. Flipping ain't easy, we're by your side. Sourcing great items is the key to success. Subscribe to the channel and stand above the rest. Focus on the thing that's within your control. Hang with flipping ain't easy. Let's roll. Catch the live streams on Mondays and Fridays. Join the Discord community for the parlays. Tune into the podcast Profit Playbooks, the name. With Scott and Josh, flipping's more than a game. Catch the live streams on Mondays and Fridays. Join the Discord community for the parlays. Tune into the podcast Profit Playbooks, the name. With Scott and Josh, flipping's more than a game.